Sean, the final scoreline says 2-0, but it seems very harsh on your team.
Well, harsh on the performance level. I thought a lot of the performance was right today. And I think the fans played their part in that performance because I think they felt it was probably right, and I think that's important going forwards. Two key moments against, of course. The first one mainly, look, the second one can have a bit of a breakaway, he committed bodies forward and that sort of thing. You don't want it to happen, but it can happen. But the first one's really frustrating because it's from a kind of set-up position and we get the set-up wrong and they get a penalty out of almost nothing and against the run of play. Fully committed to the cause of the players and finding that freedom in the box, to go and score a goal or find the killer pass. And I spoke already about it, you've got to let that go. You've got to hit the ball with conviction. You've got to finish with conviction. If it misses, it misses. No problem from me. But I want you to go and finish with conviction. And I think we're just lacking them key moments in the final third and everyone gets a bit tight because we've created enough today to score a goal. Doesn't always guarantee a win, but it gives you a head start if you can get one in front. And I thought today we did enough to do that, but we didn't do it.
You say about the final third, that's something that's been here all season, way before you joined the club. How do you get the players to be more clinical, or is it just a case of they have to take the chances when they come?
Well, continued work on the training ground, but continued work in their own belief. You've got to go out there and take a game on, and there's a different kind of bravery. There's a bravery in effort, and I think we're giving that, and the commitment is good. I think we can see that, and the shape of the team, the energy of the team to go and press teams, to go and force the play as well as play when we can. It comes from within them moments to find that clarity. And I always say to, be the next man who makes a difference, and I think when you get that team mentality, score as a team, don't forget, concede as a team, that's the balance we want. It's everyone's job to score, not just one person, it's everyone's job to score, so everyone taking that responsibility on.
You say about the energy, after maybe a tricky opening few minutes, the team did really well to respond, and there was a lot to like, it seemed, from the performance. That it's a lot of similarities between the Leeds and Arsenal games.
No, I agree. Soft start. Well, particularly anything wrong with it. Just looked a bit like waiting for the game, as I call it, not making the game, not gripping the game. But then after, I think it was around about the 15 minutes mark, we got the pressing right and everyone's committing their bodies forward a bit better. And then we took a real stranglehold of the game, I thought. And as you suggest, we've got to be careful when we're analysing these performances. There's not much wrong with that performance. Now, of course, I'm not naive. Two killer moments go against us. More so the first one. That's the frustrating one for me. But there's a lot of good things in that performance. So we've got to make sure we keep with that, of course. But then we've got to add in the big moments and make sure we get them right at both ends and both boxes.
And it's important for you and your players, you say, about remembering that the performance was a strong one, a good one, that you got that from Evertonians coming off the pitch. They showed that as well.
Well, I think the key to remember that, the fans are great as well. We know we need them. The big thing, is to remember that, look, we'll all take a lucky one, but you want a performance that can show that you can win games. I think we've had that so far since we've been here, particularly at home, and we're not a million miles away today. Dwight McNeil I thought was excellent today. He's kept, and he's never lost belief. He just keeps crossing it, keeps working, and he probably deserves something for his performance. But at the end of the day, we've got to keep knocking on the door and then just eradicate a couple of soft moments today. But there's not been many since I've been here. But we've got to get on the right side of the margins, and we didn't do today. But we've got to do that going forwards.
I'm glad you brought up Dwight, because I did want to bring that up as a positive. Dwight said to us a couple of weeks ago, he held his hand up and said he's not had the confidence really since he's played at Everton. Obviously a player very, very well. I haven't given him his Premier League his debut. What do you think it is the difference since you've come in? He looks a player with confidence, and his work rate and his, like I say, the crosses just relentlessly into the box.
Well, it's a big thing coming to a club like this, and with all due respect to Burnley, it's not as big a club as this. We know that it comes in and probably a bit of expectation and, a different environment, and of course the team didn't quite get off to a start, and then there's a few questions. It's a different thing. He's still relatively young, he's played a lot of football for a young player. And I think maybe just a fresh start as coming in. He's maybe a bit more familiar to us. And then the crowd see what he's doing. They see the work ethic, see his performance. They start going with him. And all of a sudden, he's blossomed into, well, so far, he's blossomed into a player that I always believed he could be, because I thought he was excellent today. And like I say, we want him to keep up that level of performance, and so far he has been doing. But we want all players to find that freedom, and they will do. But it's a relentless task. We have to keep with the training ground work, keep to the belief in what the performance was today, but add in the big moments, of course, in the scoring capacity, and then stop them having big moments in the defending capacity, which, like I say, we mostly have a couple of mistakes, a couple with a setup from a throw-in today, one at Liverpool, that sort of thing, couple maybe, but we've got to eradicate them, but we've got to keep plugging away and keep believing in the performance today, because that's, like I say, don't over-egg it, 'cause it's not a perfect performance, but it's certainly not a performance that warranted a 2-0, I didn't think.
You mentioned the cross into the box. I know you've been very clear that the players in the team who you've got available are the ones that have got to take their chances. But when you see possibly Dom coming back, hopefully, and obviously keeping him fit as well, is that something that can make a difference?
Yeah, but we want the players to take responsibility, everyone. It's not about one player. You know, we've got to make sure that we find out looking after ourselves both ends of the pitch. So that's a group commitment, a squad mentality, and that's what we need to continue building.
And just going, the importance is the defeat today, but as you say, the performance was there, the good things that did bring victories against Leeds and Arsenal. So is it important for your team to go away and remember that the good points, the factors that you have built since you became in as manager?
Yeah, we'll reinforce the stuff that we need to through a debrief on Monday, like we always do. We'll speak to the players about it, some of the good stuff. We have to make them aware of the things that we didn't do as well. But no, there's a lot of good things there and a lot of good work done in the training ground. Don't forget, I work with these players every day, so do my staff. And we're seeing a lot of commitment to what we want from them. The work ethic's been great, the taking on of new information. I've said we're cramming a lot in, we still are, but the commitment has been very good. We've got to stick with that and then add in the big moments, of course.